안녕하세요. 하나하나 한국어입니다. In this video, we're going to study Sogang Korean Textbook 1B, Chapter 2. 이 옷을 입어보세요. In this chapter, we're going to practice 3 new grammar points as well as 3 dialogues. We're also going to study a 1 reading passage and 1 listening script. Okay, let's see the first grammar point. This is one of very few cases where we distinguish verbs from adjectives in terms of conjugation in Korean language. When do we use 은? When we modify noun with adjectives. For example, let me take an example. Okay, there's 소녀, which means a girl, and we're going to modify. What kind of girl? Pretty girl. 봅시다. Pretty girl. The pretty, the word pretty, the base form goes 예쁘다. In English, you just use the adjective as it is to modify noun. However, in Korean, we have to change the form. With what? Get rid of 다 and you put 은 or 니은 받침 itself. What's the difference? 받침 있어요? 은 말해요. If the word ends with, if the stem of this word, after getting rid of this 다, after getting rid of this 다, if the stem ends with consonant, we need 은. If the stem doesn't have any consonant, in other words, 받침 없어요, we need 받침 니은 only. So how would you say the pretty girl? We have to say 예쁜 소녀. Okay, this is the proper way to modify noun with an adjective. So we need 은 here. Okay then, shall we practice the dialogue? 제가 읽을게요. 따라하세요. 미나 씨, 큰 가방을 살 거예요? 아니요, 작은 가방을 살 거예요. If I'm reading too fast, please pause the video and make sure you practice right after me. 자, what do they talk about? Andy asks, 미나 씨, 큰 가방을 살 거예요? Are you going to buy a large bag? 자, how did he conjugate? What is the base form of 큰? 자, 크다죠? 크다. And then get rid of 다. And we need 은 or 는 according to the 받침. 받침 없어요. So we need this. 받침 니은. So it becomes 큰. So big bag. And Mina answers, 아니요, 작은 가방을 살 거예요. Here, 작은 modifies the bag. Where does it come from? 작다, the base form. And then we need to add 은 or 는 here, isn't it? Get rid of 다. 받침 있어요. So we need 은 this time. So it becomes 작은. 작은 가방을 살 거예요. Ready? Let's practice further. 자, here's some base form. 자, 봅시다. 모자, 치마, 스카프, DVD 있어요. And we need to modify these nouns with the adjectives here. The base form is given, isn't it? 자, so we have to change this base form into the proper conjugated form. 자, 크다, we did it already, becomes 큰. So a large hat, 어떻게 말해요? 큰 모자. How about 치마? And we want to say a short skirt. 어떻게 말해요? 짧은 치마. Pronunciation, 짧은 치마. Done. 자, how about the scarf this time? 자, asterisk 있어요, which means it is irregular verb, isn't it? Irregular adjective in this case. 자, 길다 becomes get rid of 다, and then usually 리을 받침 drops. And then we treat this stem as the ones without 받침. So we need 는 instead of 은. Okay? We need this one. So it becomes 긴. So 긴 scarf. 긴 스카프 말해요. Long scarf. How about this one? 재미있다 있네요. Funny, interesting, fun. So you want to say interesting, an interesting DVD. This is irregular because instead of 은 or 니은, we need 는 as in verb, as in verbs. So we need to change it to 재미있는 DVD. 재미있은 아니에요. 재미있는 DVD. Okay, so let me explain more about this modifying nouns with verbs. 자, let's expand this grammar point. So we are focusing in this chapter, the first case, where an adjective modifies the noun. In Korean, I just said that we cannot use the base form to modify noun, isn't it? Instead, we have to change this base form, adding 은 or 니은 받침. So 받침 없어요. We need this one. 그래서 예쁜 소녀, a pretty girl. Done. How about but there are cases when we need to modify nouns with verbs. For example, a running girl. 자, in this case, the main rule is the same. In this case, this is a verb. And in English, you need ing form or past participle to modify nouns, isn't it? Korean as well, we need to change this 달리다. 달리다, to run, we need to change the form. In what way? Regardless of 받침 of the stem, we need 는. Okay, regardless of 받침, we need 는. So, a running girl, 어떻게 말해요? 달리는 소녀 말해요. When a verb modifies a noun, it can take a tense. In other words, the 달리는 소녀 can be a girl that runs. Or you can actually use for present continuous. So a girl that is running, 괜찮아요. It means the same, depending on the context. How about past tense? How can we say a girl that ran? We need 소녀 anyway, and we need 달리다 here anyway. How do we change this form to modify 소녀? In the past tense. We need 은 or 니은. What? Basically, the conjugation rule is exactly the same as in adjective. Okay? So if you say 달린 소녀, it means the girl that ran. If you can deal with this, so here's an extra information. This is still past, but I want to say a girl that used to run, which emphasizes she doesn't run anymore, or I don't know whether she still runs or not. Okay? In that case, we still need 달리다 here in front of the noun. And in this case, we have to say 던. Regardless of 받침. Regardless of 받침. So if you say 달리던 소녀, the girl who was running by then, or the girl who used to run by then, but now I don't have any information whether she runs or not. Okay? So this is an extra information. My main, more important conjugation rule is this one, the first case, number 1. Okay? So how about the future tense? The future tense. So this is a past tense. How about the future tense? A girl who will run. Still, we need 소녀 here, and in front of the noun, we need 달리다. So how do we conjugate this? 아이고. 자, we need 을 or 릴. Okay, 받침 없어요. After you get rid of 다 at the end. So 그래서 달릴 소녀 말해요. We need this time. 달릴 소녀, the girl who will run. Okay? 자, let me wrap it up. When the adjective wants to modify the noun next to it, we need 은 or 는. So it becomes 예쁜 소녀, for example. When a verb wants to modify the noun next to it, we need 3 different cases. First of all, present. Present, we need 는, regardless of the 받침. So it becomes 달리는 소녀. How about the past? In the past tense, we need 은 or 는, which is exactly the same with the adjective case. So you say 달린 소녀. What about the future? Future tense, we need 을 or 릴, depending on the 받침. So a girl who will run, 어떻게 말해요? 달릴 소녀. 이렇게 말해요. If you know how to modify these nouns, you can basically use these relative clauses in Korean. So for example, there are 4 different relative clauses that modify girl. There are 4 different relative clauses all modify a girl here. 자, first case 봅시다. First one, a girl who runs every day. So, who runs every day, this whole clause modifies a girl. How do you say in Korean? You need 소녀, and the modifying part is supposed to be located in front of the noun, okay? 자, who runs every day? Start from the base form. Start from the base form. 자, 달리다 있네요. 달리다. Every day. 매일. 매일 달리다. This is the base form. And we need to modify it, isn't it? We only change the final one. Only change the final one here. So, get rid of 다. And this is present. Do you remember? This is a verb and this is a present. What do we need? 는 말해요. 는 regardless of 받침. So, if you say 매일 달리는 소녀, then it becomes a girl who runs every day. Done? 자, number 2 갑시다. This is also a girl, but who ate my cake. Okay, this is a verb, but in the past, isn't it? Let's see. 소녀. And the modifying part supposed to be in front of the noun. 자, who ate my cake. Always start from the base form. 자, 먹다 있네요. 먹다, however, we need past. 자, my cake. 나의 cake. 케이크 이렇게 쓸게요. Because it's Konglish. 내 케이크를 먹다. Why? Because my cake is an object. Object, and this is a verb. The girl who ate my cake. 자, this is a verb and this is a past. What do we need? 은 or 는 말해요. According to 받침. In this case, get rid of 다 and then 받침 있어요. So we need 은 here. 내 케이크를 먹은 소녀. And it becomes a girl who ate my cake. It's supposed to be the girl, isn't it? And this one is also the girl. 자, number 3 봅시다. Number 3, the girl who used to hate me. 자, used to, slightly different from the simple past. Let's start with the base form. 자, hate 뭡니까? hate. 싫어하다 있어요. 싫어하다. Hates what? Me. This is an object, isn't it? 그래서 나를 싫어하다. Done. 자, this is used to. We need used to. 자, for used to, we need done, regardless of 받침. So, 나를 싫어하던 소녀. The girl who used to hate me. What does it imply? She used to hate me for sure. However, I don't know whether she still hates me now. Okay? 자, number 4 봅시다. The girl who I will phone 있네요. Who I will phone. 자, still 소녀 supposed to be right after the modifying bit. I will phone. Let's start with always base form. 자, base form phone 전화하다 있죠. But we need future tense. Who calls? I call, isn't it? 내가 씁시다. 내가 전화하다. I call. 자, I want to modify this future tense. 자, for the future tense, we need 을 or 리을. 그래서 내가 전화할 소녀. 자, this is how you express the relative clauses in English into Korean sentence. Very good job. 자, second grammar point 봅시다. 지 않아요 있어요. 지 않아요. 자, this is basically make the sentence into negation, isn't it? 자, how about formal ending? 자, formal ending 어떻게 말해요? Formal ending. Formal ending. 지 않습니다 말해요. 지 않습니다. How about in question? 지 않습니까? 자, for example, through dialogues. Repeat after me. 따라하세요, 여러분. 신발이 작아요? 아니요, 작지 않아요. 잘 맞아요. What did he say? What did he ask? Are those shoes small? Are those shoes too small? 신발이 작아요? 물어봤어요. And then Mina answers, 아니요, 작지 않아요. So what did she say? No, it's not small. 어떻게 만들어요? How do we make it? 작다 plus 지 않다 말해요. So get rid of 다 here and just put it together. 작지 않아요. 작지 않다 and then sentence ending, isn't it? So it's not small. 자, same expression. We already know. How would you say it's not small? You can also say 안 작아요. It's exactly the same. Okay? So it's a matter of your choice. 자, last one 봅시다. 잘 맞아요. What is the base form of 맞아요? Last sentence. 잘 맞아요. What is the base form of 맞아요? 맞다, isn't it? It has many different meanings, but here it means something suits, something fits. And we have 잘 here. So it means they fit well, they suit well. Okay, very good. Let's practice this. I'm going to change these base forms into a question here and answer with a negation. So something is not something, okay? So for example, number one, I will ask, 시계가 비싸요? And how would you answer? No, this is not expensive. 어떻게 말해요? 아니요, 비싸지 않아요. It's already given here. 자, number two 갑시다. 날씨가 좋아요? Is the weather nice? And you want to say, no, it's not nice. 어떻게 말해요? 아니요, 좋지 않아요. Or absolutely, you can also say 아니요, 안 좋아요, 괜찮아요. It's the same meaning. 자, number three 갑시다. I'm going to ask you, 책이 무거워요? 자, this is irregular, isn't it? 어떻게 말해요? 무거워요? 책이 무거워요? And you're going to say, no, it's not. 어떻게 말해요? 자, this is important. Let me write it here. 자, 아니요. 무겁지 않아요. 자, 지 않아요 doesn't require any further complexity. So you just get rid of 다 here and just put 지 않아요 at the end. So 무겁지 않아요. However, if you want to say 안 something, you need to conjugate it, isn't it? 안 무거워요. Done? So 지 않아요 seems simpler to use to avoid the conjugation, isn't it? 자, the last one 갑시다. Number four. 치마가 길어요? You want to say, no, it's not long. 어떻게 말해요? 아니요, 길지 않아요. Or you can also say, 아니요, 안 길어요. Done? Very good. Just be careful with this conjugation.